So we've all got this emptiness that we're trying to fill with something. And so we're pursuing after something, some kind of lifestyle where we are satisfying ourselves because it's all about me. And that's what the world says that it is all about. It's all about me. So I have to go and do things that make me feel good. Okay, so I'm going to pursue after things that make me feel all right. And then maybe that emptiness, that weird feeling that something is just not right will go away. So we go and we pursue after things that make us feel good. Maybe it's just simply getting a Coke at the gas station, okay? Or maybe it's buying drugs. Or maybe it's going and shopping somewhere and spending loads of money. I don't know what it is for you, but you're trying to fill it with something. Okay, for me, it was another person, and I felt like, I had to do one more thing, I'm going to push this boundary just a little bit more to get what I want, and then I'll be satisfied, and then I'll feel good. But guys, this is what the world says. The world labels that as freedom, right? That's freedom, to do whatever I want with whoever I want, whenever I want. And so, am I really who's in charge of that? Like, it's all about me and my life? Actually, it's all about sin. And so what I'm doing is I'm shackling myself to whatever that desire is. So what's in control there? Is it me or is it the desire? Is it the need to have some kind of satisfaction? That's not me. That's the enemy saying, you need this one thing. You need this other thing. You need more because you're empty. That's not freedom. But the world says that it is, because the world would have you in bondage. The world wants you in bondage. But Jesus wants you in freedom, true freedom. Now, in Ephesians 1:7, this freedom can be defined by this. God, here is speaking about God, it says, He is so rich in kindness and grace that He purchased our freedom. He bought for us with the blood of His Son, Jesus, and forgave our sins. He has showered His kindness on us along with all wisdom and understanding, right? So we're given this freedom because the design was for us back in Eden to be walking in the garden alongside God. That's what you were made to do. Every single person on this planet was designed to walk in the Garden of Eden with God. That's your purpose, is to be with Him and to want to be. That is freedom. But instead, even Adam and Eve, they were like, man, God, you're offering us all this freedom. We get the whole garden. We get to do whatever we want except for one thing. And they took that as, well, I don't have all the freedom that I really wanted anymore. God's got a rule for me. That's not freedom. And so they ignore God and they go after whatever they wanted to, right? The one thing that God told them not to do is to go and eat that fruit. And they did. And then immediate bondage, the freedom that they thought that they were going to get ended up being immediate bondage, because you know what? Did it stop there? Did Adam and Eve stop sinning right there? No, they kept sinning over and over again because they were forging their own shackles, going after their own heart's desires. Your heart is evil, my friend. It's evil. It doesn't want anything good for you. It wants bondage. So what do we do? Galatians 5:13 says, for you have been called to live in freedom, my brothers and sisters, but don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love. So what is freedom? It's to walk alongside God, to have this intentional relationship, to fulfill the purpose of my life where there's no more emptiness, where I don't have to go and seek other things to fill in that gap, because that gap was made for Jesus. That gap, that gaping hole was made for Jesus to fill. Not all of these things, and you will never be satisfied. You will always be looking for something more. You will never feel good enough. You will never be worthy. Not without Jesus. We have got to stop looking at freedom and thinking that it is whatever we want, whenever we want. You don't know what's good for you. I don't know what's good for me. I don't, but Jesus does. And yeah, there are some rules that come along with it. Just like I have rules for my daughter and my son, is to protect them and keep them safe, not to hinder them, not to keep them from being free and to not have fun. That's not why. It's to protect them. And God knew that back in the Garden of Eden, was to protect them. The law and statutes that God makes are to protect us. Freedom does come with boundaries. It does. But they're to protect us.